So before we start, guys, I'm going to have 10 thumbnails by the end of the session, and I want you guys to leave a comment and let me know which one of these 10 you like best. And I'll be taking this thumbnail into my next video, which is to develop this thumbnail into a full painting. Leave a comment on the video, go to my Facebook page, let me know which one of these you like. So welcome to the part 2 of thumbnail basic sketching tutorial. From the last video, we started a thumbnail sketch. We established the depth, the environment, and the spacing. So basically everything about composition was laid down as a base for a developed painting later on. Having a good base is 50% of the work done. And today I'm joined again with Levi, and we're going to talk a little bit about making more compositions, making more thumbnails, so that we explore a couple of different subjects, different ideas as well. So we'll start roll now. I generally start by filling the canvas with a gray. From the last video, I talked about pulling and pushing values. Basically, this is the same thing. If you checked out the value sketching video, this is a very quick and dirty version of doing exactly that.
Nice. Any idea here? Or are you just blasting shapes at it?
I'm just blasting shapes at it. Continuing from before, I want to start, this is basically like a warm-up. So I'm using a messy brush, getting all sorts of dirty edges and dirty paint. So these will smear a little bit more than, say, a clean edge brush. So this one's
you get all the values though that way.
Yeah, you need all the values. So you basically lay something in and then push and pull a little bit.
That's a nice brush right there.
It's a very nice brush. It gives you a very randomized edge and still give you a lot of control over value. So value is it's a very easy thing to create shape changes and things like that.
Oh, that was fast.
Wasting no time at all. This is basically a warm-up. The first idea is always the worst, so I'm continuing from the first one up. This is all going to be very, very quick. If you watch the first video, that one's a little bit slow. It took about 10 to 15 minutes. Over here, the video is sped up about 2 times, so it's still going to be a little bit slower than what's shown here, but generally you want to be fairly quick with your warm-ups.
You want to work this fast, ideally.
Yeah, ideally that would be good. But working fast is also working fairly messy. As you can see, the edges are completely blasted away. But I'm not so worried here because the first 2 is going to be nature. So rocks, you can't really paint anything too wrong with that. I guess the thing really to focus here is composition and depth. So you really want to lay down your 1, 2, 3 layers. And then there I'm kind of opening up a sky there, and this is creating like a canyon. So the 2 walls are converging towards the center. And the
black in the foreground is like the 4.
Yeah.
That's so 3 layers right there.
Basically. You want to do these really quick, so you have more time to explore new ideas. Just blending in the values a bit. Atmospheric perspective means that things further away will have a closer value range than the things closer to us. We can have the darkest darks and the brightest brights in areas that's unfiltered. So I'm jumping right to the third one here, filling in the canvas and using the black as a base. So I'm just going to brush in something. Another thing very important is horizon line. So right away there I established a ground plane and started to make some shapes in. So this one is mostly started off with silhouettes. So there are different ways to do this. All of them are fairly quick. The first 2 were very simple value warm-ups, and this one I'm gonna go in with some more silhouettes and try to establish something fairly quickly. So the edges are a little bit more cleaner now. I'm using a square texture brush. cutting into the shapes a little bit, just establishing a little bit of a hint of details. Those look like building facades. You can always cut back into, erase into your silhouettes. So right here, Levi, I'm thinking of a busy Japanese street, maybe with a twist of, futuristic, something mixed with kind of a dirty, gritty feel. I like cities with a bit of elevation, so there's a layering going on. There's some skywalks, and there's some on the first level, some on the
really
basement
enclosed,
levels.
Busy spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japan is great for that kind of stuff.
It's fantastic for that. The two places, one is Japan, one's Hong Kong. You get tons of depth and tons of elevation. Those verticality in the cityscapes, those are awesome.
I like the building silhouettes.
So we're just blasting through these.
Blast is the word of the day, I guess.
That should be the title of the episode.
Let's blast another thumbnail.
Blast another thumbnail. Ideally, you want to work really quick, so you can start to paint for real.
You got that lasso. You know I like that lasso, Frank.
Lasso is going in there, yeah. This one, I wanted to establish a major shape and then pull from that. So again, working from the silhouette, but this time also working with the light. So this is that's a topic I want to talk about today, is that a lot of the times we do thumbnails entirely thinking of the layering and the silhouettes, but I realized when we add lightings later on to the painting, lighting is a very strong compositional asset. So you want to be able to also take that into account very early into the painting. Otherwise, if you developed your textures, your values and everything, and then you're going back in to change certain things, and you changing the perspective, and you're changing the where the light hitting on the surfaces, potentially you're getting a lot of undesired effect.
Well, you're getting a different painting than the one that you did a thumbnail of earlier.
Yeah, precisely. It's not going to be very close. For example, the cityscape one, right above this one, there's not much lighting in there. There are hints of it, but when I go in to reestablish like a really direct lighting, I would say one side of the building is going to be completely changed. There's going to be a shadow line, and there's going to be surfaces that's going to be facing the light and surfaces that's going to be in shadow. So a lot of that is going to change the composition of the painting, and you really got to be mindful of that. So plan your steps forward.
So people shouldn't get just lost in silhouettes. It's like it's not about that. It's also designing the light is just as important, if not more important, and representative of what the finished piece will look. Finished
piece would be like. Yeah, lighting is very, very important.
It's cool, and you did these 5 totally different approaches to thumbs, really.
Yeah, these are also totally different subject matters too. Warming up with rocks, and then going right in with silhouettes. And then after you get your silhouettes, you can try to do some lighting and shadow sketches, some studies. These doesn't have to work. Thumbnails don't have to work right away. You can have some fun with them. Wasting no time at all, jumping into the next one. I really like to just go in and throw something in really quickly. Something like a foreground element. Using the lasso tool, getting that major shape in is super effective. Once you get that in, your mind start working towards it. Your mind start coming up with things that might go along with it. So this one, right away, I'm thinking maybe it's a quad pedal robot. Those things are really cool. And there I'm thinking of the light direction already, so I'm slapping in some shadows on the ground.
And you're leaving that background value there.
Yeah. This is still done with silhouette, but I'm just keeping minding of where the light is coming from.
Well, silhouette's best for just silhouette is good for exploring like character design, I think.
Oh, for sure.
But for paintings, it's best to match silhouette with lighting. Obviously, you can't just get stuck with only silhouette. Don't you think?
I think with anything that has a lot of surfaces, anything with a bit of depth, it's best to be a little bit versatile with it. And there's not one approach that's going to be best for every painting. There's going to be different combinations of it. So this one I just really like taking inspiration from a lot of the mech designs people are doing. I'm always a fan of Metal Gear Solid, the bipedal robots and things like that. It's really, really awesome. You can see how effective just using that cutout techniques. You can establish where the light is coming from. Maybe do a little top plane, leave it out a little bit.
It's nice and simple too. Only 2 values.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lets you work efficiently.
I realize how efficient those comic book artists are with just like one value, black and white, and they can do amazing things, describe form, and it's really, really crazy. But if you can apply that technique to concept art making, I can pretty much guarantee your lighting directions and stuff is going to look very crisp. So that's one of the areas that I'm trying to do more often. In the last video, everything is value push and pull, but this is like a completely different spectrum almost. It's just one cutout, one color. One value, sorry.
I like this kind of the most so far.
It really is.
I think that's the coolest one.
Yeah, it really is quite effective. When you get that right, it's really, really effective. It tells a story right away.
It looks like the most like it could be a finished painting.
For sure.
Well, with exception to the top left one that you did last time.
Right.
But that's a different style of thumb too, altogether.
No, it's completely different. So now I'm trying something else again. I think this is going back to the messy brush. So the edges are not quite as sharp. But I'm trying this one to get a little bit more depth in. So this one's a little bit further away where everything is in a greater span of space.
Big landscape.
Big landscape, yeah. Still keeping in mind of the dark against brights here.
And the levels too.
Yeah, you want to have that contrast. Yeah, at least in your thumbnail stages, you want things to be in the right places.
How many layers deep do you always want to go? Like 3, I guess. Foreground, midground, background.
Probably. We need to go deeper.
You could. But it'd be risky.
You
might lose stuff. Yeah, Frank, get that last one there. Yeah.
See, I'm just thinking maybe there's villages and structures there.
Why can't they just be lassos?
It could just be lassos, really. And let's paint some lassos.
Lasso
today.
culture.
All right. Floating structures on bamboo sticks.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and this is like a swampy lake.
I guess.
And has a bamboo kind of stick elevated village receding into the background. I like that idea a lot.
It's something more fantasy now. This is
but I like how the bamboo village isn't the focal point. It's more like what's to the right of it.
Yeah, now when I do these things, I didn't have a clear idea going into any of these paintings, so I'm actually trying to find things as I go. This is another demonstration of just using your shapes, lay something in without actually knowing what to get, but trying to come out with a painting eventually.
It's alright, I told you now. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
It's got to be that. Now you have the idea.
Let's say you're right.
Looks nice.
So a lot of times when I do my personal paintings, I have no idea what I want. You know, when I get a brief, anything for work, it's kind of more simple. I don't have to think quite as much.
Yeah.
Because you will have a boss, someone to tell you what to do, and then you just have to do it. And that's using your techniques to do those assignments well. This, I almost think it's harder to do things for myself. Because it could go in any direction that I want to. And I'm not that decisive, actually. I fidget around, and I try to find things that's better. And sometimes when I don't think it'll work, I just not do it altogether. That's a really bad habit. Sometimes throwing something in there and trying to see what come out of it is a much better approach. Just try. If it doesn't work, you don't lose anything.
Yeah.
Good thing Photoshop Paint is free. So I'm spending a bit longer on this one because I'm trying to get some detail in there, going against my own advice.
The more you detail it, the less I like it.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Because I'm actually making a painting.
Finally.
Instead of making a thumbnail. Because this is supposed to be, fun and idea exploration. You should be doing like 2 sheets of these.
Any passion I had 10 minutes ago, it's gone now.
Really?
For that thumb.
Well, let me see if I can bring it back. It's dead in the water. It's dead.
Dead for me.
He's already dead.
Alright. Just Christ, stop it.
Jeez.
He's already dead.
He's already dead. I don't think you'll like this one either.
It looks like,
I don't know what I was thinking.
No, it's creative.
Spikes.
Actually, I'm not sure what the heck I'm looking at.
I have no idea what I'm getting at here.
That's a relief that you don't know either.
No, because I wanted to go into this exercise completely fresh.
The most interesting part is how you're doing each thumb so different from the last one.
Yeah, that's why I wanted
different techniques.
That's what I wanted to get across. There's not one way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever way is more effective, that should be the way you're going at it. And if one way doesn't work, try the other one, right? This is more just random shapes now. I think this might be my most random one. So random that I just completely destroyed it and started over. I'm trying to make something more alien with this one. My thought process was that it has to be different from all the other ones I'm doing. Because I already did, landscapes and robot and some lighting sketches. So this one has to be something weird.
Okay, I see.
And I still have no idea what I'm doing. This is kind of like a structure, like a mouse, something. But yeah, I lost it halfway through. Still going though.
That's what thumbs are for.
You ever had one of those paintings where nothing is working and you're wondering why are you still painting on this?
Everyone has those paintings where nothing is working.
I have no idea where I'm getting at, but I'm keep on painting.
All my paintings are paintings where nothing is working.
When in doubt, not so. So now I'm starting to get a little bit more depth there.
Yeah. It already helps to add, like you said, at least 3 layers.
At least 3 layers.
Foreground, midground, background.
Something in the back.
At least if there's something. It shouldn't always be so apparent. But.
No, yeah. But it's so hard to do in a thumbnail because you only have so many things to do.
Well,
you don't want to go too deep developing everything. So it's looking a bit alien. I see some structures connecting the dots.
What's alien mean? It just means like smooth curves and not understanding what's going on.
Alien means it's probably not on Earth. And I think I had enough of that one.
Yeah, it actually looks really... I like the bottom right of it. It looks really cool. The shapes there.
Yeah, mashing some different values together can create some pretty interesting forms.
it went from like a weird mech face to now it's like an alien city of some sort.
Some sort of alien stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool now. I like it.
I'll destroy it somehow.
Maybe like I wish the back was maybe lighter or something.
True, that would help it. I might just chop this one off as like really weird and move on to something else. There's no point fixing something that's just not gonna work for you. That's why you're doing thumbs. Imagine if I spent 2 hours on this painting.
Well, yeah, some people they go with the first thumb they get.
If I started with that painting and I just wrote with it, I would feel so bad. Maybe eventually it'll make sense. So for this one, I'm laying down a little wash before I go in with the silhouettes.
It's like a Mega Man stage intro.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
This brush is cool. It's a triangle, very opaque triangle brush. You want to make some brushes like these.
Or just download them from you.
Yeah, I didn't make these brushes actually. I believe this one, I think this set is from one of the tutorials.
I like this one already for some reason.
Cityscapes. I really like cityscapes.
Me too.
This one's more futuristic because I wanted to be tall and.
Oh, that was smart, right? What you did right there. See, I would have just put black on the bottom for some reason that you used the value that you already made a gradient of. That's so smart. That's smart.
Fucking smart.
Fucking smart.
Fucking smart. So in the background, I wanted to layer something else. More of the same cityscape paintings with giant structures.
No, Frank, don't kill that white
Not entirely.
highlight in the back.
Oh no. Hey.
Oh no.
Oh, it's gone.
What are you doing?
Hey, I don't want that line to be there.
I like the line. It was kind of like, I guess I'm not really sure what it was.
True, it could be just peeking through somewhere.
That's fine. Now it looks more like an actual.
Yeah. Be careful about a straight line going across your painting because it has a lot of energy pull. It's a bit of a compositional thing.
You're right. You're right.
Usually, if you don't want the energy to be there, you want to have some shape there to break it up. But for this one, I just felt like it's futuristic city has like multiple like verticality again, multiple layers, both vertically and in depth. So having taller structures and these platforms kind of helps sell it as an idea.
Yeah. I still like this one.
Yeah, the foreground, I used very simple shape. They're really there to sell the ground plane because the painting needs to be sitting on something. If it's very easy to make a layered cityscape to look completely like a cutout paper layering. If you don't have a ground plane, it would look fairly floaty.
I like where you stopped there.
Yeah,
that was good. Any more work and you might have lost it, I think.
Yeah.
Stopping there was very good.
But yeah, just imagine taking one of these thumbnails to a finished painting stage. It would be very, very fairly fun. I mean, you have this and then you go online to search some skyscraper photos, photos of machineries and stuff like that. So you can finish this off with photographs and some fine tuning of the lighting. So the last one here, again, I'm trying something different. I'm trying to get another big shape in there. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. It's a little weird.
It's like a punch hook. Oh, okay, never mind.
going in with kind of a stick structure. Maybe a treehouse sort of thing. This one I'm getting a little bit more ambitious. I'm trying to actually use more than 2 values to describe a form. And it just means more work. Usually you want to separate your tasks and then make them really simple for your brain to process, because your brain can only do one thing at a time at any given time. Unfortunately, that's our limitation. So either you're learning to do something or you're painting something, try to separate them out to very simple tasks. It'll work much faster, much better for you.
So here you're giving yourself a challenge, really.
Yeah, this is more of a challenge, trying to do everything at once. You know, if I were to do this in color, that would be adding one more step. Right? So usually, the more difficult it is, the more you want to break it down. Same thing when people try to learn anatomy. You don't learn the whole anatomy all at once, right? You start with a part of the body, you get in there with the muscles, and then you move on to the next part. It's only in the end that you put everything together. So for painting wise, you can start with the silhouette, you can start with composition. I wouldn't start with everything at once, texture, details, colors, atmospherics. That would be very demanding. That'd be almost a little bit too much. So try to break it down one step at a time. A lot of the times, people would start with a value painting, and they will add color to it afterwards using multiple different layering techniques. So they will use an overlay layer to do a wash, and then they will paint on top of that.
Yeah, this is the most chaotic thumb by far.
Yeah.
Because you gave yourself so much work at once.
Yeah, this is just getting crazy. But I guess the idea is there. The points across. It's just you can, even without having any ideas at all, you can do these thumbs and eventually come out with something. So if you do a sheet of these, chances are you're gonna have one that you can say that you want to take into a more polished stage.
You should do like a sheet every 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think you should do a sheet every time you start a personal project. If you start right off the bat with the painting, I usually do that because I got really lazy. I should take more of my own advice, really. And you know what? Art directors love to see things like this too. When you get an assignment,
yeah, they can appreciate it.
And you have the option to explore a couple of different compositions and stuff like that. It's very beneficial. It may even save you work down the line, because to do one of these things, it takes you about 5 minutes. But if you've done your painting and your art director wants a different view or wants a different way of doing that, then you probably just wasted a whole half a day of work. I've had, from personal experience, I've had painting to be rendered 20 hours in, halfway finished. 20 hours is a really long painting. That's for a film. So just for background. But the director basically said to move the camera about 4 feet to the right on the 2D painting. So that was entirely could be avoided.
Yeah, if you had more thumbs. You're going back to the city here.
Because a lot of the times, art directors, they don't, they're not fully, they don't have the idea fleshed out. So that sometimes they have to see a couple of designs.
Oh, they want you to explore for them a bit?
Yeah. And it's not their fault. It's your job. You're the concept artist. You're supposed to explore some options for them. If you think this is a better option, you should be able to, it should be your job to present it as an idea, as a suggestion, and then maybe that'll stick.
What are you doing in the city here?
Try to add because I like that one so much, I try to add a little guy in the bottom left corner. So using the silhouette a little bit to just give it a little bit more kick. But this is the final touches. So we're actually coming to close to this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something. And if you like the video, please share it. And leave a comment on my YouTube or my Facebook page. And please give us suggestions on what to do next, because the next video is going to be taking one of the thumbnails and developing it into a concept painting. So potentially I'm doing photographic, kind of like a photo bashing session. I'm going to be talking about colors, talking about detailing up the paintings.
I wonder which one people like the most.
Yeah, out of these 10. Yeah, tell us what you like.
Tell us which one you like.
Leave a comment, and please join us again next time. And we're out.